In this video, we're going to show you how to change your manual transmission fluid. Let's get to it. Changing your transmission fluid is super easy, and all you need are these common tools. You'll need a wrench with the right size socket to crack the fill and drain plug. Nitrile gloves because skin contact with transmission fluid and other chemicals is bad for your health. Then when you're crawling under your car, it's best to also wear a face shield to protect your face and eyes from hot fluid splashes. Then you'll need special manual transmission fluid and a pump with a tube to get the fluid into the transmission through the fill hole. On top of our nitrile gloves, we like to wear these thick chemical gloves because they also protect against heat. You need to change your transmission fluid when it is still hot, but if it's hotter than expected, these will protect you from burning your hands. You also need a bucket or oil drain pan to catch all the old transmission fluid in so it doesn't spill onto the ground. But make sure the drain plug is open, and what people often forget, also check if the vent is open. Otherwise, fluid won't drain quick enough and it will spill over the sides. Lastly, it's best to use a torque wrench to tighten the bolts to the right spec so they don't leak and you don't accidentally over-tighten them. Before you start, you first need to go for a 30-minute drive to warm up the gearbox because this loosens up all the sludge and makes it easier to drain the transmission fluid and get all the impurities out. Then the first thing you need to do is lift your car so you can work under it. You can, of course, put your car on a car lift so you don't have to crawl underneath it. But if you don't have access to one, we put a link to our video on how to safely lift your car and put it on jack stands down in the description below so you can safely work under it. So make sure to check it out. But put your entire car on jack stands and make sure it's level. Otherwise, the fluid level won't be accurate when filling it back up. Then locate the transmission drain bolt. This is a large bolt located on the bottom of the transmission. You can find the exact location in your owner's manual. But before you take it out, first make sure you can open the fill bolt, which is usually to the side of the gearbox, about halfway up. Otherwise, you'll be in a lot of trouble when you have drained all the transmission fluid but can't fill it back up because you can't drive with an empty gearbox. And if you do, you'll destroy it in no time. But make sure to check your owner's manual and be careful. There are other bolts on the gearbox that are located on a similar spot but should not be removed. Then take your wrench and crack the fill bolt. But be careful when you take it out. If it's filled correctly, transmission fluid will drip out, so it's best to place some rags under there. Because our drain plug is located right on the edge of the skid plate and we don't want to spend an hour cleaning transmission fluid off of there, we're going to put some rags behind the drain plug so they block any transmission fluid from leaking on there. Place your oil drain pan under the drain plug and crack it loose. Then put on your face mask and chemical gloves because the transmission fluid might still be hot. Here's a handy tip for you guys when putting on the thick gloves. Flip the bottom side up. This way, if fluid runs down your glove, it gets caught in there and doesn't run down your arm. Then loosen it further by hand and try to take it out in a quick motion to avoid splashing fluid everywhere. Make sure to catch the old fluid in the container so you can afterwards drop it off at your local recycle center, mechanic, or even some parts stores because they recycle this for free. The rag behind the transmission drain bolt did its job perfectly and prevented fluid from splashing on the skid plate, saving us a lot of cleanup. As you can see, our glove trick did its job too and prevented fluid from running down our arm. The drain plug is often magnetic, which can give a great indication of your gearbox's health. If it's a metal paste without any big chunks, this is normal wear. But if you spread it out and can see bigger metal chunks, you might have some damaged teeth in your gearbox. Luckily, ours looks perfect. Then clean the metal shavings from the drain plug and put it back in. First, put it in hand tight and degrease the entire area, and then grab your torque wrench and tighten it to the right specs according to your vehicle's owner's manual. Then grab your transmission fluid and pump. Put the nozzle in the fill hole and start pumping. This might take a couple of minutes, but don't give up. You'll get there eventually. Keep pumping until you see the transmission fluid come back out of the fill hole. This is why your car needs to be level, otherwise you will put too much or too little fluid in the gearbox. Remove the tube and put the fill bolt back in, first hand tight and then with a wrench. If you don't have a torque wrench, be careful not to put too much force on it. You don't want to strip the threads. Then wipe clean. The last thing you need to do is go through all your gears so the fluid reaches all the parts of the transmission. Do this a couple of times and you're done. That's all there is to it. Now you can change your transmission fluid. Thanks for watching. If you liked our video, please make sure to like, subscribe, and share. It helps out the channel a lot. And don't forget to hit that bell button so you don't miss any of our uploads. More videos are on the way, so we'll see you on the next one.